After patiently watching Amanda pull on the same nail for 5 whole minutes, I began to revise the project completion date. Oh God.
Is this how it's gonna be?
But then she got it.
Ooh, that was better.
Yeah.
And I became confident that we would finish in 2098.
Ooh, I'm getting good at this. Ooh.
Yeah.
The most important part of a home improvement project is picking the right partner.
I'll go back to that one.
No. So I've got my little paint scraper, which I'm using as a barrier to try and protect the wood floor from the damage this is going to cause. It does a little bit, but not much. And I just pry them up because they're nailed straight down into the wood. Now I've got my hammer to bash this in, but I think first I'll just cut this carpet out because it's just in the way a little bit. Then I can get this underlay out. Then I can just see what I'm doing a little bit better now. So let's get this under here. And then bash this bugger in. Well, that one popped out pretty easy. So now that I've got this one end up, rather than just keep prying all the way and put unnecessary strain on these timbers, which we're going to salvage and reuse, and now I'll go to that next post and pry that one up, and then I'll probably go to the back and pry them up, just so that it gradually gets removed rather than stressing one end. And also it probably could damage the wainscoting on that side. So nice and careful, nice and slow. So now you know what to do, love. Here you go. I'll come back in a couple of hours. You don't want to do that?
No.
Well, I guess I'll move on to the next post then. I'm going to need some of those kneecap protectors that the guys who do flooring wear, because my old knees are knackered. Too old for this bollocks. That's the floor creaking, not me. Oh, that's me. There we go.
Like some clueless gormclops, I was beginning to think that hammering out the nails would just take too long.
Oh, there you go. It seems really pernickety and fiddly, but I've got these little rubber pieces here just to protect the wood from, damage like this. And then just pull it out. It seems like a little thing, but by the time we're done, that little bit of rubber will have saved these little timbers from all kinds of gouges and scratches. Oh, there we go, another one. Oh, this will only take like 5 or 6 days.
With each row removed, I learned little tricks to help me work faster and, dare I say it, smarter.
That's how you take out a church pew. Right, so quickly determined that banging out all of these nails from the back wasn't the best method, because look at the mess it made on the other side of the pew. I'll show you this. That's not what I want. So I decided that the cleanest way to do that, so that the opposite side wouldn't get smashed up, is to get a Dremel tool with a little disc and just cut the nails off, because it doesn't really matter that the nails are still in that plank. I'm not intending on cutting that anyway, so shouldn't cause a problem later. And at least now the other side is perfectly clean and tidy. So I've only got dozens more to do, as you can see. And then there's all of these nails that are sticking out the top. So I'm going to be busy for a few hours with this little disc tool cutting some metal. And all home improvement shows give you the same message every time you use power tools, and that is safety first. There it is. I can't see anything, but I'm sure it'll be safe, totally safe. Yeah. Now this is a highly skilled technique. It's taken me years to perfect this, but I'll show you how it's done. You just my Dremel's Flaccid.
Well, that's a good tool. 6 years this might be done?
I'll go and charge me Dremel and then I'll come back. Oh, if you're watching Dremel, I'm not getting paid to mention your brand yet, but if you're watching, get in touch.
We'd love it if you became part of this adventure by subscribing. Oh, and don't forget to tickle my bell.
So one thing that I'm going to have to deal with is the squirrels. There have been squirrels just laughing at me, just mocking me, as they just casually come and go through these holes here. And it's my guess that the purpose of these holes is probably ventilation, but it's not really offering that much ventilation, but it is offering a nice convenient run for the squirrels. So I'm going to fill these up. So I've got an idea. What I tried, just to sort of temporarily deter them, was just stuffing wire wool in there, but they pulled it out. They just didn't care and just pulled it out. So I've got a solution. Let me show you this little idea I've got. What I found at the local hardware store is these metal grates, if you will. I don't know if you can see it, I don't know if the camera's going to pick up on it, but basically underneath these slits is like a little sort of mesh. And so the mesh will not let the critters in, like the little bugs and stuff like that. But these little vents should be just enough to let airflow continue moving through. And then I just shoved this little grate into some 2-inch pipe. Now this is really thick PEX. I probably went a little bit overboard, but that's all they had to fit this 2-inch. So I ended up with 4 feet of that, which I'm going to cut down into smaller pieces and then just stick it in the hole. I'll show you how it fits. So I'm going to fit this with these vents facing down, and then just basically just shove it in the hole. And I think before I secure it in there with a bit of cement, what I'll do is, rather than have it flush, I'm going to just make it stand a little bit proud, because in the event that I may want to remove it, it's going to be a lot easier if it's not flush to the wall. And even if I make it stand a little bit proud, it's still protected from the rain by this shingle. It's about maybe half an inch to almost an inch, 3/4 of an inch beyond the shingle, so it should be safe from the rain. Now, I don't think for a second that this is a viable venting solution. I think what I'll probably end up with is some either sort of industrial dehumidifier that pumps moisture out, or at the very least some kind of motorized vent that's constantly running with a big fan and just throws all that moisture and humidity outside. I'll have to do my homework, but this by no means is a vent solution. What I'm doing here is just trying to stop these cute but annoying squirrels. I just want to cuddle one. I just want to cuddle a squirrel. What's wrong with that? Before the move, I got rid of most of my belongings, and we've pretty much just moved the things that I needed for the business. All of the office equipment, the computers, the audio equipment, all of that stuff, so that I could keep making videos and do photography. That got moved. So I don't really have a workshop. I don't really have that many tools. So I've got a pretty ghetto tool bench. Let me show you what I've rigged up here. It's quite deluxe. So yeah, it's just a G-clamp on the steps of the back deck. That's all I've got. You know, you just work with what you've got. So, but you know, it does the job. I just clamp it to this step, and then I can use the tenon saw to just cut these 8-inch lengths of pippy, put my little vent on. Job's a good one. Don't look too closely to see if my cuts are straight and true. I mean, it's just, you know, it's just a vent for the basement. It's not like high-end finishing or anything like that. Oh, that is absolutely Bobby Dazzler. Look at that, eh? A straighter line was never cut.
Oh, how's it going with your little DIY project here?
Yeah, it's going pretty good actually. Yeah, I'm almost done with this.
That line doesn't look very straight.
Don't get too close. Doesn't matter about straight edges, just for outside. Don't get that close again.
So you're just practicing, right?
Yeah, this is the practice run. I'll do it all again perfectly. I'll just delete this bit. Oh, Amanda's got the Dremel. Get in touch. So she's going to show us how it's done. Let's see how it's done, love.
I've never tried it.
I particularly enjoyed the polishing action Amanda used, but nothing seemed to be happening, and I could tell Amanda wasn't really into it.
I don't like it.
You don't want to do it?
No, it's not for me.
Too much.
It's too much power.
The little Dremel's got too many RPMs for you. Do you want me to take over?
You're better with the powers.
All right.
Maybe I'll find another job I like.
Yeah.
Probably something on TV.
I don't think it's good when the thing has a red light on it. I think it just overheats. Should probably read the manual. No, when it works, it actually works pretty well. But I mean, if we had like a powered angle grinder, that would be the best thing. But then you've got that cable dragging around, and I've got to be agile, so it's probably the best tool for the job. One thing that I struggled with the last time I was taking them apart was I was getting like a 50% destruction rate, which is not good. So today I'm being a lot more careful about removing all of these nails that you could see all along the top there, and all of the nails that attach all of the different pieces. I've been really careful about how I separate all these pieces. But there comes a point where you just have to use a bit of brute force, but I'm trying to do it gently. So I'll show you this bit that I'm trying to separate now. So this is this is obviously the back, and this is the seat. So I'm basically just very gently rocking it one way and then the other, and you can hear it stretching out, and that's actually doing pretty good just to loosen those nails, because when you do it by force, what happens is these planks just get destroyed, and that kind of defeats the whole purpose of me trying to salvage them. Yeah, that's good, nothing's broken. Just keep going. There you go. So that is pretty much done. So I've managed to separate seat and back with zero destruction, but I'll show you this one over here. This is the second pew that I took apart, and you can see it's just destroyed, which I really don't want. So that's what made me start to be a little bit more careful in taking them apart, because they're quite brittle, these old timbers. They're really quite fragile, but they're beautiful. So I've really got to do my best to salvage them with minimum destruction. So every day is a learning experience, isn't it? And I think I made a mistake buying this thing. It's not really up to the job. I think this is more for sort of arts and crafts than cutting nails. This thing lasts about 2 minutes, and then it just breaks or shatters. So those are the bits of these blades. I've gone through 5 of them in 1 hour, and they ain't cheap. So I'm not saying that this is a piece of crap, but I think for the job that I'm trying to do, it's a Dremel Light. It is simply not capable of cutting through nails. So I wanted this because it was cordless, but I think I'm gonna have to just admit defeat and go and buy a powered one that's on a cord and just get it done properly.
After a ton of elbow grease, I managed to pull out all the pews from the sides.
That last one is terrible because I have to take out this bit first.
I was also in a rush for a very much needed barbershop appointment, but when I got back, disaster struck.
So I'm not having a very good day today. We've just come into the church to do some work, and it's a really heavy rain, and there is water leaking through the ceiling, obviously coming through the roof, and down into the main floor of the church, so you can hear the water dropping in the bucket. Oh, just one more thing to add to the list of problems that need dealing with. Now we need a new roof. It's just brilliant, isn't it? Oh, it's great.
So I harnessed my inner rage by being productive. This church renovation project had barely begun, and already the shoestring budget was getting out of control. I'd have to sell a ton of books if I had any chance of fixing that roof. If only there was a link in the description to my life-changing book. Oh, there is. Oh, there it is, yeah. Oh, that's good, yeah. The middle row of pews was definitely more challenging due to the massive size, but as a tight-arsed Yorkshireman, I had no intention of letting this good timber go to waste.
That was a good one.
And of course, I would never have gotten this far with the pew removal without Amanda helping.
I did it!
Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, now start lifting it out. Well, that got it out.
Yes, it was all fun and games until Amanda had a mishap with a crowbar.
What have you done?
I hit my knee with a crowbar.
Full force.
Full force, and you know how strong I am. And I only have this movable leg.
Does that mean you're out for the day, no more work?
I'm in pain. I haven't sworn yet because I'm in shock. I think it's like an instant bruise and oh God. Oh God.
I bet you don't even have a bruise.
I bet you I do. Oh. I don't. But that's where it is.
Let's show the audience where this terrible wound is.
Right there.
So there's nothing. There's not even a scratch.
You know, like when you hit a funny bone, that took me to the ground. It was just an instant pain.
So you're gonna get back up and help me, are you?
Well, I guess I'm better now.
God. Just ridiculous.
At this point, I was rather excited to be down to the very last pew, but it took a little bit more effort than the other 37 pews.
So we really want to get this last one out perfectly intact, because this is the only perfectly straight one. Because as the pews go back towards the stage, each one curves ever so slightly more. And we really want this one in our library area. So fingers crossed it comes out intact.
Fingers crossed.
Oh, that's one repair already.
Hey.
Another repair. Alright, ready?
There you go.
Upon close inspection, the back row had some stories.
There's some pretty naughty kids here.
Yeah, why is that?
Look at all this chewing gum.
Oh, that is just nasty. Why do you think that is then?
Well, because it was the back row. Everyone always sits in the back and puts their gum there, don't they? I'm going to try this piece next.
Oh, you can't you're not even wearing gloves.
So I think it's a good flavor. Oh,
What flavour is it?
I'm going to guess it smells minty. I won't stop till I get a Hubba Bubba. Oh, that one might be good. Oh, yeah. Oh, that might be all right. That one looks like a pile of shit.
We could do some DNA tests with all this business.
This one came good.
That's not chewing gum.
What do you think it is?
That's poo. It's brown. I wouldn't put something brown off the bottom of a seat in your mouth.
Well, that's a big spider over there.
I'm not even falling for it.
No, I'm serious. It is. Look at it.
Yeah, but your acting's just not that good.
No, that's a big spider, for real. Look on that wall.
It's not that good.
Good, I distracted him. Now I can eat all this gum. Well, this is going to be in our house for years to come. I'll either eat it now or later.
I don't know whether maybe we should just keep the chewing gum as kind of like a cultural, historic thing. And then one day maybe we invite some of the neighbours around and they say, oh yeah, I used to sit on the back row, and then we can go like, oh really? Well, here's your chewing gum.
Yeah, they can initial it. I guess I'll put this one back on.
Nasty. I'm glad we're wearing gloves. So there you go. It's a pewless church now. We've removed all of the pews, and now we just got to dismantle these guys, and then we're going to get all of this timber probably stacked up in the center and then covered in sheets or maybe even shrink wrapped, so that demolition can begin on this lath and plaster wall. Now I'm still waiting to hear back from the asbestos tester, so we should probably check the email before we do any demolition. Let's check the email because I might, if it's Friday, so I might have got a response. Oh, look how much water we've collected. This is great. Well, you always wanted a water feature, didn't you?
I did. I asked for one.
Yeah, it's like a spa, you know. We're bringing nature inside the home.
Maybe we can get like a nice metal, like a Tibetan bowl, sound bowl. That'll catch it. And I'll go. It's a sound bowl.
All right, let's see what this email says. Yeah, it's in. So let's have a look. Okay, so this is a big deal because if we have asbestos, we have to get the professionals in to remove it, and it's going to cost a fortune. So we really want it to not have asbestos. So let's click on that. Let's scroll down here. Oh God, there's so much guff. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Homogeneous grey cementitious material, asbestos not detected. Yeah. Oh, that is such a relief. We don't have to
That's good.
get the asbestos crew in because
Would have been a long time.
yeah. But I mean, even though it says there's no asbestos, and that's actually my second test, I think we'll still wear masks anyway.
Yeah. What kind of mask do we got?
Oh, I'll show you. Yeah, let's cop that. So just get one of these. Really good. Just stick that. You just put your face right in it, and just really breathe. You got to breathe real deep, though. Put it on.
No, it stinks. What is that?
Put it on your face.
Is that a jock strap?
Just put it on your face.
Oh!
Put it on your face.
No!
I got it in the store. They assured me this is the most. Put it on your face.
It's used. Ew.
Oh yeah, I've used it a couple of times. You know, just for odd jobs. Put it on your face.